I was so happy to meet you composing. Yeah, and I'm so happy. 30 contestants,
I know.
yeah, could perform. Because in the commission work in Japan, there are several competitions, international competitions, but pianists have to prepare the commission work, but they are going to perform as a second stage or something. So, however they try to, there's no opportunity. It's so pity for them.
Yeah.
Only chosen pianists
Yes.
could play in front of the audience or in front of the jury. But this time, every contestant could perform. It was so wonderful. I felt.
I was delighted when I was asked to do this. It was the reason I came to this competition. I've always said no to competitions in the past. I've been asked many times, and I never really wanted to judge. It's so difficult, and I just... But anyway, when Jacques Marquis asked about this and said, well, would you write the piece, and they all have to play it, I thought, well, that really... I can't say no to that.
My friend sometimes told me, I don't want to listen to the commission work. It's boring or it's very too special, so I can't understand the music or something, so and so. And but about myself, it's the first time to feel some happiness or very entirely fascinated from your composing, and even I bought a score.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
You play then?
Yeah, maybe this small pieces are together in the one book. You wrote about rather not so difficult, but
Right.
yeah, and maybe I can perform maybe this also.
Okay.
So it's very important. A commission work should be how to say not special, but very make there something to the audience. So
Yeah. Well, I wanted to write something that was virtuosic, that had a tune that people could remember, and that they would enjoy playing, enjoy listening to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a long tradition of toccatas, from Scarlatti, sonatas, right through the virtuosic pieces of Liszt, and through to Rachmaninoff, the Etude, and Prokofiev, and so on, and Barber. And so I just wanted to write something in that tradition that would be exciting for the audience, I hoped, and that it would be good, good for the pianist to learn. And they didn't have a lot of time. I think maybe 2 months they had to learn this. So I wanted it to sound more difficult than it was. I wanted the competitors to like me, not hate me. Sometimes when you have a piece that's commissioned and you open it up and your heart sinks, you think, I don't want to learn this. So I didn't want people to feel like that. And they all played it very beautifully. Different, really, from what I expected many times. But still, everyone had something nice to say about it.
So the first stage was so exciting because of your composing. We are so happy.
Thank you.
And maybe a pianist must be happy, I think.
Well, I've not spoken to any of them, so maybe after the competition we can talk.
Yes, of course, because there are a lot of fantasy in your composing.
I like romantic music. I like music that has an emotional impact. I mean, this obviously it's a light piece. It's not deep and full of human suffering and tragedy. It's meant to be an encore type piece with celebration. But it's also, I like to write music that's constructed with a sense of structure. Of course, the great composers do that all the time. Brahms is a great example. When a piece like the Second Symphony or the Second Piano Concerto, First Movement, you have all the material comes from one source. So I like the music to have an intellectual base as well as an emotional connection and melody. So that was what I was aiming at in this piece.
Yes. We have a mini competition, and so ask you to be there.
I would love to consider it. Yes,
really?
Of course.
So because always something very same atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I think I should change that.
Yeah.
Something more
Right.
happy. And of course, you have to be a very hard time to choose each stage. Wow. You
And
have
I
to
think all
suffer.
of us. Oh, it's.
Yeah.
I felt there was one morning, and I really felt very depressed.
Oh.
Not because, we have wonderful people, but there were some people that I loved very much who didn't make the next round. And that's very difficult. I think it's a very good voting system here. It's very fair. We just say yes or no for each round. And so there's no grading. I don't say this is a 7 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. We just say yes or no.
Oh.
So it's very easy, but not easy because I said yes and some people didn't get through. And I think many of the young Asian pianists that I hear, I teach at Juilliard, I have 2 students
Oh, really?
there, and I think they're very interested in that tradition, and they're bringing back things from the past which are very treasurable and good, and bringing their own sense of beauty, and I think this is wonderful. It's very exciting to me.
Oh.
So classical music is living more in Asia now than in Europe, and that's an irony really, because most of the music we heard this last 3 weeks was written in Europe. So
Yeah.
it just shows that great music is universal. There's
Yes.
no boundary to it, and I think it's very wonderful because sometimes countries have problems, whether it's political or religious or social or whatever it is, and music rises above all of that, and we can all be friends. And just here this week, you see a Ukrainian pianist playing Russian music.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful sign of the possibility that we can be friends, even if we don't always agree. So I love, when I come to play in Asia and I don't speak the language, and yet we completely communicate through the music, and that's very special.
Yes. Yeah. In the Vancouver, only the jury can decide only this final stage, or just complete cut the before stage. The only how to say decide these 2 concerto about the result. I don't know that.
Well, I think, we have to, obviously we've heard these pianists play many things, solo and then also Mozart concerto.
Yeah.
But I suppose the final round, there's a certain extra weight because it's what we're hearing, it's what most people are hearing. But I think we have to take other things into consideration too, how they played in earlier rounds, and try and have because we want an all-round winner, someone who plays solo well and plays well with orchestra. Always in a competition, some people are disappointed. You can never get it 100%.
Yes, right. Yes, I myself sometimes attend the international competition, and it's my happiness to choose who couldn't go to the final stage, but some brilliant talent. I invite him to my country and make a recital for him, and they will find another step, and maybe within a few years, and they will become more.
Yeah. And many winners of competitions have not had a successful career, and many people who didn't win have. You think of the Leeds competition when Mitsuko Uchida, she was not a top prize winner, but she's had an incredible career. And it happens over a long period. And I will hear I've heard people in this competition that I will talk about, I already have to presenters in London, and it's a slow process, but that's a long career. You want a career to last 50 years, not 5. As actually Anne-Marie, I think, said that this morning in the symposium. So, yeah.